Imagine this. You're really stressed out from work and all your family issues that you may or may not be going through, and you're really starting to question your true happiness or true meaning to your life. And for some people, to deal with this is through Kadampa Buddhism. Uh, Kadampa Buddhism is a very relaxing and calm way of self reflecting and meditating and finding your true happiness through the 21 stages of Kadampa Buddhism. Experience-wise, I've actually went to the Lamrin Kadampa Buddhist Center in Davenport, Iowa, downtown, and I've done some minor research on the topic as well. So being open-minded to these different culture and religious aspects of people's lives can really help deal with like the chaotic world that we live in. Throughout this speech, I will touch on what Kadampa Buddhism really is and their use of the Buddha statues and what their meaning and symbolism is behind all of it. And I'll go through my experience that I went through myself. So, what Kadampa Buddhism really is, it's a special form of Buddhism, branched out from Mahayana Buddhism, and through it you become, in a way, a practitioner for Buddhism and a teacher. And it was originally founded and discovered by Atisha, who was a Buddhist master who lived from 982 to 1054 AD. He actually started the rebirth of Buddhism in Tibet when he was invited by King Zheng in 1042. And Atisha is the discoverer of the Lamrim Way, the 21 stages, which you can find in the info tab below, on how to reach nirvana or enlightenment. And all that information was found through the Kadampa Buddhism website. Next, I will go through the uses of Buddha and the Buddhist statues that you see them meditating or almost like kneeling to as if it was an idol of some sort. So throughout the Buddhist faith, there are three different sectors, and Mahayana is the one that Kadampa branches out from, which is 56% of the people. And so one of the reasons that they do it is to celebrate their religious founder, who is Siddhartha Gautama, who was a northern Indian prince who rejected the ancient ways of religious beliefs that India had priorly had. And it originally started as an atheistic type of religion. Another way that they use the Buddha to symbolize is the enlightened one, which is just their simple homage to Buddha, the God, and their simple philosophy of self-reflection leading to true happiness and enlightenment in nirvana. It also, one of the biggest, deeper meanings of it is their universal symbol for striving for hope and striving to get out of the evil and suffering world that we live in and to reach nirvana and escape our world. And so now, knowing what Kadampa Buddhism is and what the meaning of the statue is, I can now take you through my visit, hopefully have a better understanding of some of the stuff that I saw. So when I first walked into the center, I walked into what looked like a community room or a fellowship room. There were some couches and chairs around, a couple bookshelves around, so maybe people could sit there and read if they wanted to. There was also a table in the corner with a bunch of like little tiny Buddhist statues and books for sale. And one of the books was the book that included the 21 stages of the Lamrim. And when I was there, I was looking around at the table, and I was greeted by a man named Brian. He doesn't actually work there or anything. He had just been a frequent comer. He said he'd been going for a few months. And so I took that upon myself to just ask him a few questions, like deeper questions of his faith practice and everything. And so he said that he was originally referred to the place by a friend from work because they'd both been stressing over a lot of things with work and family, and were judging whether or not they were truly happy with their lives or not. So I asked Brian if he'd found his true happiness, and he said that through his journey that he'd be able to become happier and had a more fulfilling purpose with his life. And I asked him like if there was like any time frame and stuff how this works, and he said it's really up to your own journey and how far you're able to meditate and go through your life and self-reflect and see how you can really make changes to your life and really just accept yourself and find your true happiness. So after that little conversation, we headed into the meditation room for the meditation class, which was led by the resident teacher Joe Galvier. He's been teaching for 20 plus years in the Kadamp Buddhism, and he's learned in England, Taiwan, and even Holland, and up in Madison, Wisconsin as well. He started off by leading us in a little talk of Dharma, which is just spreading the Buddhist faith and applying it to our real life situations that we may be going through at work or with home or with friends, and talking about like the self gratification that we always tend to rely on, and recognition we tend to seek towards others, and living in the materialistic world and dealing with all the evils of that sort, and how we can use Buddhism to overcome that and realize that we don't need that to be truly happy. And after all that, he gave us time to sit there and meditate on our own and silently and self-reflect on these issues that we thought were troubling. And I found the experience to be very helpful. And afterwards, I didn't get a chance to talk to Joe, but it was I would like to talk to him in the future when I go back, which I definitely will. So in conclusion, we talked about what Kadamp Buddhism really is and the use of Buddhist statues, and my visit and my experience and how I was able to really go in there with an open mind and learn about the different culture and religious beliefs. So also I would like to retouch on the fact that being open-minded to this culture and stuff can really have a big difference on what we perceive in our world of chaos. And through this experience, I was able to learn about a different culture, and I was very thankful for it, and I hope that people will also give this a try in the future.